hero. That's what you once were. You stood the shadow and purchased another dawn for the world with your life. But the evil you fought is not so easily banished. The victory you claimed, not so easily held. For now, the specter of death looms above the world yet again, and it has found new champions to bring about its final reign. Knights of darkness, wielding runes of death and destruction, bound by the will of the Lich King. This is the hour of their ascension. This is the hour of your dark rebirth.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a classic Cataclysm, this time on a Death Knight. And as the introduction said, I was once a champion, a hero of the light, a warrior bound by the creed of justice, now revived in the damned, by the damned, in service of the Lich King, no less. Once a mortal figure turned completely on its head. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. And before we really start this whole off, that is right. Yeah, what he said. So, basically, before we start this video off, I want to say please leave a subscribe down below. Support the channel. We're trying to get to 150 subs by the end of the year. I know we can definitely make that. And then some, I hope. But, as I stated a little while ago, I said I wanted to do a Death Knight. Especially on stream, I thought about it. And now that I got my Warlock up to level 55, I figured, what better time to start a Death Knight series than now? So this Death Knight series is going to run parallel with my Warrior. And probably a couple of other series I'm planning on doing. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I am trying to put out as much more content as I can. At least content that people might be interested in looking at. At least looking at it. So, since I'm not editing, I don't edit videos, I stream. I figured quantity and quality be damned, I'm just going to put out videos that I think would be cool, even if it means I got to put out a bunch of videos per day. Which I know can be probably maddening for some people, and not so maddening for others. It just depends on the person, I suppose. But, yeah. So, that's pretty much what I'm planning to do. Obviously, the webcam is back for more engagement value, I hope. You know, for you guys to see my face, maybe you guys can level with me. and honestly see that there's really not much going on. Let's see. Let's fight you. Unworthy initiate. So, yeah, if you could do that and also ring the bell to let you guys know when I'm going up live or the next video, would be very, very much welcomed. And all that kind of stuff. So, with that in mind, let's just get started. Honestly, for those who play normal retail and maybe play, you know, other versions of the game, you'll notice that the starting zone is going to be a little bit different for you, especially for those who are new to the game, new to WoW. And if you play War Within, I'm pretty sure you can just play Death Knight at any level. I think you don't need a level requirement. So if you play Death Knight because it looks cool, you'll realize that sometimes the starting zone's a little bit different. But just depends. So I'm not using any heirlooms, so heck, if you're in the comments of this video and tell me to wear my cloth heirlooms as a Death Knight, you're crazy. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. But, yeah. So I'm going to experience this whole thing. And you guys can just sit back, relax, and watch as I massacre the living. And all that jazz. You know, I really like this Death Knight starting zone. Not gonna lie, I like it. I love it. I won't do it 20 odd times, but I've done it 20 odd times. And Death Knight in retail currently is not the same as here. So for those who have played Death Knight before Cataclysm, you'll know. But those after, I think Warlords or something like that, or after Mist really, you'll notice that it's a lot different in playstyle, gameplay wise, because they did pruning and they did some merging with some spells. So those who don't know anything about the Death Knights of the past, well, this is a good opportunity to learn about Death Knights in the past. Especially this quest. I really like this quest. Death comes on a high. Oh yeah. You need distractions sometimes to get some stuff. So you just raise the undeath. Right in the middle. Vengeful ghouls. Let them just massacre everything. I love that ability. Not gonna lie, I really like that ability. Ba-ba-ba. Now to the Chapel of the Crimson Flame. Yes, the Scarlets run rampant. I think after this, after, you know, all this, after Wrath of the Lich King, I think they should have stopped with the whole Scarlet Crusade. My opinion, obviously, is, you know, very little to a lot of people when it comes to the Scarlets, because I know there are some people out there who just can't get enough. You know, who can't get enough killing Scarlets. And frankly speaking, you're crazy. You can't, it's just dumb. No lie. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think we should stop killing Scarlets in the current game. We've beat them down enough. We have raised them undeath enough. We have completely decimated every single holding that they have. They can't really step or get a leg up on anything. Why bring them back constantly? Absolutely dumb. Really dumb, in my opinion. God, I love that horn. That's such a good horn. I like that horn.
I will listen for now.
Alright. So, plate specialization. We're gonna need that eventually. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm tired of fighting Scarlets, you know. Tired of it. Like, it was fun in Classic, it was fun in TBC, it was fun in Wrath. But after that, it should have just ended. They should have either been fully absorbed into the Alliance, or just done away with entirely. I'm just being honest. Just being honest. There's legitimately zero reason now, because there's no more Scourge, to really have them around other than fighting the Forsaken. And even then, they can join the Alliance to fight the Forsaken. All the radicals have been completely killed off, and we have secured that. We have legitimately secured that whole notion of them no longer having any standing whatsoever. Radical leaders decimated and killed, or even raised in undeath in some cases. It should have been done dusted, you know. But yeah, you know how it is. Alright. Death's Challenge. So, I have not done the Death Knight starting zone in a long time, guys. I'll be honest, I haven't done it in a long time. Not a big Death Knight fan, especially in retail. But, from time to time, my curiosity does kind of overwhelm me enough to where I'll be like, yeah, I should play Death Knight. Especially fighting in the Plague Lands and stuff. Definitely give me that vibe.
I don't have a target. I can't do that.
So, how to play Death Knight during these days is pretty simple. Your frost, your ice touch, icy touch puts a disease that does periodic frost damage, and plague strike gives you a disease. So you get 2 dots, and then you would after that spam blood strike. Blood strike does a lot of damage, and it does a lot more damage if for each disease that you put on a target. So you could hit this target for 80% of your weapon, plus 226, but if you put Icy Touch and Plague Strike on them, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot more. That's 12.5% for each disease and stuff. So, you know, easy. Easy fighting.
You need something?
Easy fighting.
Our master's will be done.
Alright. No potions. So, this will be a series that I'm going to do for the week, and probably so on, alongside my warrior and everything else, just to put more stuff on the channel. So, and I might do streams here and there for this guy. So, there is some bits of incentive to do this, frankly speaking. I mean, who doesn't like a Death Knight? Once in a while, you know? Once in a while. And I'm sure some people would have probably asked me eventually. So with that in mind, I figured, you know what, I'll get ahead of the bell curve and say, I'll do it.
I will listen for now.
That I'll do it. I'll do it right now. No big deal. Plus, I like the idea of a hero left for dead, risen in undeath. I thought about doing it with my warrior, as I've stated before. I thought about bringing my warrior back from the hardcore series into being a Death Knight. But at the time, I didn't have a level 55. So I didn't have a way to make a Death Knight. So I thought, well, if that's going to be the case, well, then... If that's gonna be the case, then I'm just gonna go ahead, you know, and just make one. Alright. Trinket get. Insignia of the Scourge. Which is pretty much your insignia of the Horde or insignia of the Alliance, but Death Knight. Same thing. Impairment and stuff. Now to fight the Scarlets. As all Death Knights do. I probably should turn auto loot on too while I'm at it. Not sure exactly what I'll do yet with this character. A part of me wants to do like a roleplay story style where, like Shobek does, where he pretends to be a samurai all the time on his roads. Low key, I think that would be funny. But another part of me is like, nah, that's gonna be cringe if I do that. But I mean, time to time, I guess it could hurt. Be like, your death comes, scarlet peasants. Death comes on a pale horse, and he is coming to collect souls. And I am going to take your silk and give it to the warlock as tribute. As tribute, I shall present him with that. Oh yeah. Fun fact for your new Death Knights. Death Knights in Wrath of the Lich King and Cataclysm and so on, new first aid right out the gate. And they would know heavy runecloth bandages out the gate too. So there's your little fun fact for the kiddies who just start playing WoW, or people who are curious about World of Warcraft and started looking into the game. Yeah, that's something that you would know, or you figure out, or learn, and whatnot. It is quite humorous that it was in the game. I think Death Knights now, I think Death Knights in the current game don't start with first aid anymore. And I at least I don't think so. I'll be honest, I don't think so. Yes, I chose the cult because it's fine. Because I think it's funny. Absolutely funny. To ride in. Death rides in on a cult. The fact that it runs pretty damn fast too, that's funny. Trying to catch up. Faster! Faster! To the Shadow Realm with me. To the Shadow Realm I go, to find myself a new steed to ride in. Ride on. Alright, let's fight this rider. Come hither, rider. The realm of the death. Alright, let's take him. Take this one back. Take him back, and we'll get our mount that I'll be riding on. You know, it would be cool if eventually they give Death Knights, right? They give Death Knights racial mounts. Wouldn't that be cool? Racial mounts, instead of just being a steed. For example, this Orc Death Knight would get himself a, an undead wolf. You know, an undead wolf like that. Like Paladins do. Paladins got, you know, charger mounts that are racial. Why not Death Knights? Wouldn't that be cool? Can't deny that. I think that would be cool. I know there's a lot of people out there that'll be like, wouldn't it be cool if you had the Swift Brown mount like this? The Swift Brown wolf, right? But give it Death Knight eyes. Make his feet sort of like this. Flaming claws and shit. Flaming paws and stuff. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? Wouldn't that be cool? I think it would be cool. I think it would be awesome to do that. What's stopping them is the lack of creativity. Hold up. Wait a minute. You did not just do that to me. shot me in the back, you deserve that. Alright, we'll go around. Go right around here and get to the... Yeah. They try to run, but I won't let them run far. Evacuations. Get your butt over here. Oh, you want to fight me? Sad to say, but you didn't get very far for trying to fight me. Now, I think those farmhounds do a lot of damage, if I remember. They did a lot. They do a lot of damage. They do as much damage as the freaking normal Scarlet Warrior. I forgot all about that. The Lich King will whisper in your ear.
I'm out of range.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna shout die and then die. Kill them all. Yes, sir. I won't lie to you guys, I think there should be choices. I think more choices in the game. What would be crazy is, you know what would be crazy if you went to the Lights Hope Chapel fight, right? And you still stuck with the Lich King, and you fought the rebellion, the rebelling Death Knights, protect Arthas. Wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be cool. Why don't they do that? It's beyond me. You didn't almost make it. Strike it down. I think it would be cool to just do. Not gonna lie. Alright, abandoned mail. I don't know why.
Finish it. It's too far away.
Yeah, this is a letter saying that Naxxramas moved. So, if people who did not play Death Knight watch Naxxramas move, you would have known. But the Death Knight area would have given you a point of view of the Scarlet's witness of it moving. Alright. Moving along. Moving through it all. Alright. Turn this in. Get a ring. This is the one thing I like about the Death Knight starting zone, is the fact that all this gear that you get is really cool. Cool, not only cool looking, but like, really neat. Look at all that. That's so cool. Just awesome stuff. Yeah, and I also got to figure out what I'm doing here. Thinking undead. I think unholy is a lot better, I think, personally. But I could also try tanking. Blood DK taking. Maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'll figure it out. Let's see. What's what? Dual wielding, frost, ghouls, blood. I'll go on holy. Refresh, and then epidemic. We'll go epidemic, and then we'll go, yeah, contagion. We'll spread things like a pestilence. Like a pestilence. We'll have to go up and get the training for the ghoul, raised ghoul later. Alright, let's go and get these freaking scarlet ghouls. The gift that keeps on giving. There's another death knight in here, I can tell. Throw that. Is that gonna give me what I want? They can either turn into a vengeful spirit or into a ghoul. So we have to keep an eye on them, just in case if we have to go into combat. There it is. Make it easy on me or make it hard. Your choice. It's your choice. Make it easy or hard. You can do it the easy way or the hard way. Alright, that guy. Next. Yeah, he's gonna do it the hard way. Man, I'm tired of them doing it the hard way. I want the easy ways. There we go. So we got 4 out of 5. And one more. There we go. There we go. See, it didn't need to be that hard. It didn't really need to be that hard at all. But I guess they wanted to make it fucking hard. Alright, let's get on our horse and move back to the outpost. Got our 5 ghouls and we'll settle with it. Get your worthless hides into the ghoul's pit now. Into the pit. Alright. New trinket get. Gives us crit, gives us a chance to parry, increase parry when we get to a certain point of HP. Attack of an opportunity. Alright, next up, we need to get down to do the massacre at Light's Point. The dock needs to burn. Set the dock ablaze. And as we run, I need to see what we got here. We got 1 point unspent. I think we'll do desecration. Slows the enemies down. Well, see, if you're going PvP, you get desecration. So I will say, maybe. Really don't matter with that, does it? Increases the damage and healing of Death Coil and Death and Decay by 10%. We'll work on that. And then, since I'm not doing PvP, this is not a PvP realm. So don't get it twisted, guys. This ain't a PvP realm. So I'm not in any danger of fighting other people. Whew. Alright, we'll finish this massacre up and end the episode with this carnage. Oh, this carnage. They won't get close enough to me. Alright, let's head back. And as we fly back, my friends, this is going to be the end of the first episode of our Death Knight series. And we'll be continuing on throughout the rest of the week as well. And if you enjoyed this episode or cannot wait for something like this, please leave a subscribe and a like down below. Ring the bell for your notifications to let you guys know that I'm live or I got my next video up. And if you could, leave a comment down below. What do you think about Death Knights? You know, I think they're cool. In some cases. In other cases, not so much. And with that being said, my friends, until the next episode, peace out.